Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Your mentor, Nako speaking. Welcome to next week's market breakdown session, whereby I'll be breaking down the pairs that will be trading for next week. Okay, so basically, what I do is that I go through each and every instrument which is here, and then I analyze them each one by one and see which are the best to trade next week, meaning that which have the most probable setups to play out for next week. Okay, so here on my weekly watch list I have pairs named USD CAD, GBP USD, GBP NZD, CAD CHF, AUD CAD, NZD CHF, Euro CHF, Euro NZD, GBP CHF, NZD CAD, and USD UK. So these are the instruments that will be trading for the next week. Okay, so without further ado, let's commence with the breakdown session. Okay, so starting off here we have USD CAD. Just going to remove everything and do a top-down analysis for this. Okay, starting from the daily chart, this is what we have, whereby we can clearly see that on the daily chart, if you zoom out, we can clearly see that price broke our higher low here, meaning that price is in a downtrend. Okay, so price had this high here and this low here that had been broken. Okay, so this here is going to be a break of structure. So this here is going to be our high. So now, as you can see here, price has shown a sign of respect here of our previous high here. So now if I go to our lower time frame here, or just zoom in a little bit on the on this part here, I can see that here at this area here price was moving bullishly, so meaning that our higher highs were getting violated and our higher lows were being respected. Okay, so once we have that, I saw right here we have this beautiful break of structure, and here we have a change of character. We have a change of character. Okay, so once we have this, we can look to taking our trades from this discounted area here. Okay, so now looking for our trades, I went to my 12-hour chart here and I saw a beautiful supply area here that we can look to take our selling opportunities from. Okay, but then mind you, this now is the 12-hour chart, meaning that this is just our swing setup. Okay, so now moving on to our intraday setups, we are going to look to go on the lower time frames and see what price action is doing at this point here. Okay, so now moving on to our 4-hour chart, this is what we have from USD CAD, whereby we can see that price is pushing to the upside, meaning that it's pushing bullishly, so meaning that our higher highs are being violated and our higher lows are being respected. Okay, so if you go to our 3-hour chart or our 1-hour chart, we can see that here there is this beautiful break of structure that price violated our previous higher high, and there is this beautiful demand area here whereby price has tapped us in already. Okay, so this is a demand area. So once we have that, if you can move on to our lower time frames here, on our entry part here, we can see that there are sort of confirmation entries that are taking place here, whereby we had this break of structure here and we have this change of character here. Since if you can look here at our counter trend, price has been moving bearishly, so meaning that our lower lows are being violated and our lower highs are being respected. Okay, So now once a lower high is violated, now we get a change of character, meaning that our sellers are no longer taking play are no longer being in control, and our buyers are now taking over of the trends. Okay, so now if you can go on to our lower time frame here, if you can go on to our 15-minute time frame, or maybe our 5-minute time frame, here we can see that there is a demand area, an area of demand whereby price confirmed at that point. Okay, so here if we can take this, we can see that our price respected our 5-minute chart demand area here and pushed to the upside. Okay, so now what I'm looking for from USD CAD the next week is that since now price tapped us into our higher time frame demand area here and confirmed our our entry here, whereby confirmation entries were respected and our previous higher high here was violated, formulating a break-off structure. So what I'm looking for USD CAD next week is that we'll be looking for our buying opportunities on our flip entry here, whereby on our 1 hour chart, I think there is a beautiful demand area whereby we can take our trades from. Okay, so here on the 2 hour chart, there's a beautiful demand area whereby we can take our buying opportunities from. So this is what I have from USD CAD for next week. So now moving on to our next pair, we have GBP USD. So I'm just going to delete everything here and explain with a top-down analysis. Okay, so now moving on, going to my daily chart here, we can see that here we have GBP USD, and you can see that it's pushing bullishly. So, and at this point here, we had this higher high and this higher low. Okay, so now if we in a bullish trend, we know that our higher highs are being validated and our higher lows are being respected. Okay, so now here we saw that there was our previous higher low got disrespected, meaning that now our buyers are now our sellers are now taking in control of the trend, and our buyers are now losing control of the trend. Okay, so now this also indicates that we could be changing trends, meaning that we could be moving from a bullish trend to a bearish trend. Okay, so here we have our bearish structure, our break-off structure, and here we have our change of character. So with that being said, we can look to take our selling opportunities from our golden zone, and as you can see, price had already tapped us into our golden zone there. Price has already tapped us into our golden zone there. So now once we have that, we can look to taking our confirmation entries from the zone here. Okay, so now moving on to our lower time frame here, our 4-hour chart. This is what we have. Okay, so now looks like the market is consolidating here, but if you can look closely, there are zones that are being respected here. Okay, so so far you can clearly see that we have this break-off structure here, meaning that this previous higher high had been violated, formulating a break-off structure. Okay, so once you have that, we can see that this here was our previous higher low, meaning that price was supposed to respect this zone here, but then at this part of the market here, price violated our zone there. Okay, so meaning that our higher low here was violated, formulating a change of character. Okay, so now with that being said, this is what we have. Okay, so here we can look to take our entries here. Okay, so now since our golden zone has been tapped in and our previous higher low here has been our previous higher high here has been violated, formulating a break of structure, and our higher low here has been violated, formulating a change of character, meaning that there could be possible change confirmation entries that are occurring. Okay, so now the tricky part about this setup here and about this confirmation entry here is that um the high that broke our higher low here is this one and not this one. Okay, so now we'll be looking for our trades here at this higher low, at this lower high here. Okay, instead of this one here. Okay, so that's the important part about this confirmation entry. So now once we have that, we can move on to our 15-minute time frame. And here on our 15-minute time frame, there was a beautiful supply area whereby price tapped us in. As you can see, this is the supply area I'm talking about. Just going to move back to the higher time frame so I can expand it. So here, as you can see, price created our break of structure, our change of character, and respected our supply area here. Okay, so now once price has done that, I also managed to see that there were further confirmation entries that occurred within price action here. Okay, so if I can move on to my hourly chart here, we can clearly see that here, and this is what we have. So once price tapped us in here on our left side, there was a bullish structure that was occurring, whereby our higher lows were being respected and our higher highs were being disrespected. Okay, so now at this point here, our higher high was being had been violated, formulating a break of structure. Okay, and this here was our strong higher low. Okay, so price had also violated our strong higher low here at this point here, meaning that they could be some further confirmation entries that are occurring. Okay, so now if you can move on to my 15-minute chart again. There is this beautiful supply area here whereby price had tapped us in and pushed to the downside. Okay, so this is also a supply area. Going to move on, going to move back to my 3-hour chart, and as you can see there, our supply area had been tapped in into and pushed to the downside. Okay, so once we have that, so what I'm looking for GBP USD next week is that since now we had a mitigation of our higher time frame, our high time frame golden zone, and our confirmation entries here had been respected our supply area, and our supply area also had confirmation entries whereby price also respected it. So next week from GBP USD, this is what I'm looking for price action to do, whereby as you can see, our previous lower low here had been violated, meaning that the trend now is in a confirmed bearish trend. Okay, so this here is going to be our break of structure there, and we'll be looking to take our trades here at our discounted price. Okay, so if you can move on to our hourly chart or maybe our 2-hour chart, we can see that there's this beautiful supply area here that is waiting for us to take our selling opportunities from. So yeah, that's it for GBP USD for next week. Okay, so now moving on to our next pair, which is GBP NZD. So also going to do a top-down analysis on it. So I'm going to remove all the drawings and start off from my daily chart. Okay, so this is what I have. This is what GBP USD has been doing lately. So on GBP USD, this is what I have from it, whereby here on the daily chart we have this break of structure here, which indicates that our previous lower low here had been violated, formulating a break of structure. Okay, it also indicates that this lower low here is our previous lower low, and this lower low here is now our strongest lower high there. Okay, so now here, if you can move on to our 12-hour chart, so our 10-hour chart perhaps. For our chart. Okay, so here on our 4-hour chart, this is what we have, whereby we have this beautiful supply area here, whereby price had tapped us in. Okay, so since this is the 4-hour supply area here, whereby price has tapped us in, it's going to be a lot. You're going to be risking a lot of money here while entering your trade here on the higher time frame supply area. Okay, so what is advisable to do is that you wait for your confirmation entries when price taps you in into your higher time frame supply area. Okay, so now what you can do is that you can move on to your lower time frames, whereby maybe your 1-hour chart. So here on the 1-hour chart, this is what we have. Okay, so if you can look at this counter trend here, from moving from our previous low there to our supply area here, we can see that price has been moving bullishly, so formulating our higher highs and our higher lows. Okay, so our previous higher high here had been violated, formulating a beautiful break of structure, and our previous higher low here had been also violated, meaning that a change of character occurred. Okay, so now this could this here is going to be our confirmation entry, whereby we'll be taking our entries from this beautiful supply area here. This beautiful supply area here. Okay, so now what I'm looking for GBP USD next week is this. Okay, so so now on the verge of price moving to our supply area here, price is moving in a counter trend, whereby we can start taking our buying opportunities from this point here to our supply area, then pushing price to the downside when price taps us in into our supply area. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my 30-minute chart and look for my buying opportunities from there. Okay, so now on my 30-minute chart, this is what I have, whereby I can see that price is moving bullishly so, and I have this break of structure here, and this here is I have this beautiful demand area, whereby price is waiting for us to take our buying opportunities from. Okay, so immediately when price pullbacks to my demand area here, I'm going to take our buying opportunities here, and then once price taps us in into our supply area, this is where we are going to take our selling opportunities to the downside. Okay, so this is what I have from GBP NZD. Now moving on to our next pair, which is CAD CHF. Okay, so CAD CHF, I still have the same setup from next week from our previous market breakdown session, whereby price has been consolidating a lot at this area here, moving sideways. So just waiting for CAT CHF to tap us in into our supply area, and our take profit is going to be at this low here. Okay, so now moving on to our next pair, which is AUD CAD. So for AUD CAD, this is what I have. Going to just remove all the drawings. So for AUD CAD, just going to start from the 3-hour chart here. So AUD here on the 3-hour chart has been moving bearishly, so meaning that our lower lows are being disrespected, and our lower highs are being respected. Okay, so here at this point, on the 15-minute time frame, AUD CAD created and violated this previous lower low here, formulating a break of structure. And now once we have that, there was this beautiful supply area here that was respected. Okay, so with that being said, from AUD CAD next week, what I'm looking for is that I'm looking for price to push to the downside, violating this previous lower low. And once we have that, we can start looking for our buying opportunities from here, and we'll be pushing price to the upside to our previous lower high, where we'll be taking our selling opportunities from. Okay, but then for AUD CAD on the 5-minute chart, I think we have this setup here on the lower time frame, whereby it's going to be a pro trend trade, whereby we have this break of structure, and if price manages to pull back to this lower high here on the lower time frame, this is where we can take our selling opportunities from to violate our previous higher time frame lower low. Okay, so yeah, this is what I have for AUD CAD next week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so moving on to our next pair, which is NZD-CHF. So NZD-CHF has been a tricky pair for the past week. So I'm just going to move to my 2-hour chart and remove all drawings. Okay, so NZD-CHF has been a tricky pair for the past week. Okay, meaning that we had some zones that are being spiked out and violated, but then price managed to hit our take profit afterwards. Okay, not necessarily hit our take profit, but violate our lower low per se. Okay, so now here we have NZD-CHF on the 2-hour chart, whereby we can see that it's moving bearishly, so meaning that our lower lows and our lower lows are being violated, and our lower highs are being respected. Okay, so now here on NZD-CHF at this point here, we had this beautiful break of structure, and we had this beautiful supply area that was respected, and price pushed to the downside to violate our previous lower low. Okay, so with that being said, a break of structure was formed, and now we're looking for our further trades at this lower high here. Okay, so now placing my golden zone level here from my lower high to my lower low, as you can see, it marked out a zone here whereby we took our trades from, but then price managed to respect our golden zone, but then our stop loss got spiked out and price pushed to the downside. Okay, so now what I'm looking for NZD CHF next week is that since price now managed to violate our previous lower low here, a break of structure is formed. So for NZD CHF next week, I'm looking for us to taking our trades from this supply area here, but then a supply area on the 2-hour chart. This supply area here on the 2-hour chart to push price to the downside. Okay, so this supply area might look a little bit big, but then from this supply area we are risking only 8 per se, maybe 9 pips. Yeah, we are risking only 9 pips. Okay, so now refining your supply area too much might cause you to lose a trade, or might cause price action not to tap you into your trade. Okay, so hence why I'll be using this 2-hour supply area. Okay, so now moving on to our next pair, which is Euro CHF. So for Euro CHF, this is what I have. Just going to go to my 4-hour chart and see. Okay, so this is Euro CHF on the on the okay, weekly chart. Okay, so this is Euro CHF on the weekly chart. We can see that it's pushing bearishly so, and if you can go to our daily chart, still pushing bearishly so. And if we can move on to our 2-hour chart, we can see that here there is some loss of strength of a bearish structure that is going on. Okay, so now with that being said, we can see that here our previous supply area had been violated, meaning that our previous lower high here might be also violated. Okay, so now moving on, I'm going to go to my 30-minute chart here and see what we have. Okay, so here on our 30-minute chart, what I'm looking for Euro CHF next week is that since here we have this beautiful break of structure here, and our previous supply area here had been violated, so now I'm just waiting for price to violate our previous lower high. This supply area here was violated, so now I'm just waiting for price to violate our previous lower high here, so that we can take our entries here at this beautiful demand area to push price to the upside. Okay, so basically what I'm looking for is that I'm looking for price to push to the upside, violating our previous lower high here, then pushing to the downside and tapping us in to push price to the upside. Okay, so just the textbook analysis on Euro CHF. So just going to that's what I have on it. Moving on to our next pair, which is Euro NZD. Going to remove all drawings and move to my daily chart and do a top-down analysis. Okay, so now for what you call Euro NZD, this is what I have, whereby just going to move from just going to focus at this point here. So for Euro NZD, we can see that here our previous lower low here had been violated, meaning that now we can look for price to push into the upside here to this previous lower high to take our chase from. Okay, so now if we can move on to our 4-hour chart, this is what we have, whereby you can see that on our 4-hour chart, price is moving bullishly, so meaning our higher highs are being violated and our higher lows are being respected. Okay, so since this higher high here had been violated, a break of structure has been formed. Okay, so if you can place my fib level from my low here to my high, my golden zone had been tapped in, and I can mark that out as a golden zone. Okay, as my golden zone. Okay, so I'm now going to move to my lower time frame, maybe my 1 hour chart. So on my hourly chart here, this is what I have, whereby price is starting to show some bullish momentum, and I can see that here previously my previous higher high had been violated, formulating a break of structure. And if I can place my fib level from my low here to my high, price had confirmed my trend here. Price tapped us into our golden zone here and currently confirmed our bullish trend. So price tapped us into our golden zone and now violated our previous higher high there, formulating a break of structure. Okay, so now once we have that, we can see that this trend now is in a confirmed bullish trend. Okay, so once we have that, we can start looking for our buying opportunities here at this our buying opportunities here at this discounted price. Okay, so if you can place our fib here from our low to our high, this is where we'll be looking to taking our trades from our buying opportunities from our golden zone area. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have from euro USD, I mean euro NZD. So moving on to our next pair, which is GBP CHF. So for GBP CHF, this is what I have. Just going to move from my just going to remove all joins necessarily here and do a top-down analysis. Okay, so now for GBP CHF here, this is what I have, whereby our previous lower low had been violated, meaning that our lower low had been violated and now a break of structure has been formed. Okay, so now moving on to our 12-hour chart, we can see that there was this beautiful supply area that was suspected here, okay, so now once we have that, we can start looking for our further trades on the lower time frame. Okay, so now moving on, so this is a supply area. Okay, so now moving on to our lower time frame, maybe our 2-hour chart. This is what we have from GBP CHF. Okay, so now on GBP CHF, we can see that our previous break of structure here, our previous break of higher high here had been violated, formulating a break of structure, and here our previous higher low had been violated, formulating a change of character. Okay, so now we'll be looking to taking our trades here at this premium price here to sell off price at, because that's where we want to that's where price will be expensive at our premium price. Okay, so now if I can go to my 1-hour chart, or maybe my 45-minute chart. So here on my 30-minute chart, there's a beautiful supply area that will be taking our selling opportunities from. Okay, so at this supply area, it's where we are going to we'll be taking our confirmation entries from. Okay, so now if you want to counter trend this trade here to the upside, you can go to your lower time frames, 15-minute time frame per se, and refresh it. Okay, so now here on the 15-minute time frame, you're going to see that price is a little bit consolidating, meaning that price is moving sideways. So now if price is moving sideways like that, you're just going to wait for a break to the upside or the downside. And it's, as you can see here, there's a break to the upside, meaning that price could be moving bullishly. So okay, and a break of structure has been formed. Okay, so now you're just going to look for your for your demand area here on the 5-minute chart, whereby you can take your buying opportunities from. Okay, so this here is going to be your demand area, and this is where you can take your buying opportunities from. Okay, so from this buying opportunities here, you'll be risking 7 or 8 pips, more or less 7 or 8 pips, to push price to the upside, I mean. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have for GBP CHF for next week. Okay, so now moving on to our next pair. Which is NZD CAD. So now for NZD CAD, I'm just going to remove its drawing and go to my daily chart here. Okay, so on my daily chart here, I can see that price has been pushing to the downside, bearishly so. And what I've realized that is that price has been respecting our golden zone over and over again, meaning that it has been in a golden zone. It has been in a golden zone bearish order flow. Okay, so here our golden zone had been respected, and also here our golden zone had been respected. Same thing happened again here. Also here our golden zone had been respected. Now, but then unfortunately for this one here, our golden zone got violated. Okay, so for this one here, our golden zone got violated after it had been respected more than 3 times. Okay, so now since our golden zone had been violated there, we can still take our entries from our supply area here. Okay, so now here on the daily chart, there is this beautiful supply area here that price had been mitigated, and now price is pushing to the downside. Okay, so now since price had mitigated our supply area here, we can look for further trades to the downside here. So if you can go to our 2-hour chart on NZD CAD, we can see that there is this bearish order flow on NZD CAD here, whereby our previous lower low here had been violated, formulating a break of structure. And with that being said, we can look to taking our trades here at this premium price, because that's where price is at its expensive at. Okay, so here on the 45-minute chart, there is a beautiful supply area that is waiting for us, whereby we can take our selling opportunities from, to push price to the downside. Okay, so that's what I have for NZD CAD. Moving on to our next pair, which is US30. Okay, so now for US30, there's just going to delete all drawings and do a top-down analysis on it. Okay, I'm just going to move on to our 3-hour chart, because now USDT has been in a bullish trend since the start of the year. Okay, so now on USDT, last week, this is what happened on the hourly chart. So now on the hourly chart, USDT has been moving bullishly, so meaning that our higher highs are being violated and our higher lows are being respected. Okay, so now here our higher high got violated, formulating a break of structure, and here our beautiful demand area got respected. Okay, so now once we have that, this is going to be our demand area. So now our demand area got respected and pushed price to the upside, violating our previous higher high there. Okay, So now once we have that, we can start looking for further trades on US 30. Okay, so on the 30-minute time frame, there is a beautiful demand area that is waiting for us to take in our buying opportunities, our further buying opportunities from. Okay, so just going to expand this as our demand area. And for next week, this is what I'm looking for from US 30, for price to pull back to our demand area, and we'll be taking our buying opportunities here to push price to the upside. Okay, so now moving on to our next pair, which is USD CAD. Think I did this one. I started with this one. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for next week. If you feel like I went too fast, you can go back and watch the video. It'll be uploaded in the VIP market breakdown session drive folder, and yeah, you can watch it from there. Okay, so wishing you guys a profitable week next week, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.